Close your eyes for a moment, not to escape the world, but to see it for the first time with the vision of the true self. I ask you to withdraw your attention from the room you are sitting in, and from the device you are holding, and from the circumstances that have defined your day, because we are here to perform a radical act of spiritual rebellion. We are here to awaken from the hypnotic dream of lack that has enslaved the human mind for centuries. You have been told that you are a finite being, struggling in a finite world with finite resources. But this is the lie that keeps the king sleeping in the gutter. You are not a body struggling to survive an economy. You are the spirit of life itself, experiencing a temporary state of limitation that you have inadvertently agreed to. But an agreement can be broken. A contract can be burned. And tonight we are burning the contract of poverty that you signed with your own doubts and fears. We are here to dismantle the illusion that the abundance you seek is separate from you. It is not a distant shore you must swim to. It is the very water you are swimming in. You have been looking for wealth like a fish looking for the ocean. You are surrounded by it. You are permeated by it. It is your very substance. The money, the wealth, the freedom, the security, the expansion you crave are not objects to be acquired, but frequencies to be tuned into. They already exist in a dimension of yourself that is fully awake and waiting for your permission to become real in this three-dimensional shadow world. You must understand the nature of this dream of lack to wake up from it. Lack is not a physical reality. It is a psychological trance. It is a spell cast by the senses. Your eyes look at a bank balance, and they send a signal to your brain that says empty. Your brain sends a chemical signal to your body that creates the feeling of anxiety. That anxiety vibrates out into the quantum field and freezes your reality in a state of poverty. It is a feedback loop, a trap, a prison with no bars except the ones you maintain with your own focus. To awaken is to break the loop. It is to look at the empty bank account and refuse to accept the verdict of the senses. It is to say to the physical world that you are a liar. The truth is what I imagine. The truth is what I feel. The truth is the kingdom of heaven within. You are not here to fix your finances. You are here to fix your perception of reality. When you fix the perception, the finances fix themselves. You are not here to chase money. You are here to assume the state where money is chasing you because it recognizes you as its master. Money is energy, and energy serves consciousness. If your consciousness is one of a beggar, money flees. If your consciousness is one of a king, money serves. The moment you claim I already have it, the universe rearranges itself to prove you right. This is the law of reversibility. If the physical fact produces the psychological state, then the psychological state must be able to produce the physical fact. This is not poetry. This is the physics of creation. The world you see is a mirror, a giant, impartial, ruthless mirror. If you stand before a mirror and you are poor in spirit, weeping, terrified of tomorrow, the mirror can only reflect a world that gives you reasons to weep and reasons to be terrified. You cannot change the reflection by screaming at the glass. You cannot change the reflection by scrubbing the mirror. You cannot change your financial situation by fighting the facts of the 3D world with more struggle and more hard work and more worry. You must change the face you present to the mirror. You must change the composition of your soul. What would it feel like right now in this very breath to open your bank app and see more than enough? I want you to truly go there with me, not as a fantasy, but as a rehearsal of a fact. What would it feel like to see a balance that makes you sigh with relief? Not just enough to survive, but enough to thrive. Enough to be generous. Enough to walk into a store and not look at the price tag. What is the sensation of that freedom? Is it a lightness in the chest? Is it a relaxation of the shoulders? Is it a subtle smile that plays on your lips? That feeling is the secret. That feeling is the invisible currency. The world thinks you need dollars to buy things, but I tell you that you need feelings to buy the dollars. You must purchase the state of wealth with the coin of inner peace. You must pay for your freedom with the currency of gratitude before the freedom appears. This is the great reversal. This is the narrow gate. Most people wait for the money to feel good. You must feel good to summon the money. You must become the person who has it before. You can hold it in your hand. Let us speak of the beggar sitting on the box of gold. There is an old legend of a beggar who sat by the side of the road for 30 years begging for pennies from strangers. One day, a mystic walked by, and the beggar asked him for some spare change. The mystic said, "I have nothing to give you, but let me ask you, what is that box you are sitting on?" The beggar said, "It is just an old box. I have sat on it for as long as I can remember." The mystic said, "Have you ever looked inside?" The beggar said, "No, what is the point? There is nothing in there." The mystic insisted, "Look inside." Reluctantly, the beggar pried open the lid of the box, and to his astonishment, he discovered that the box was filled with gold. He had been sitting on his fortune for 30 years begging for pennies. You are that beggar. We are all that beggar until we awaken. The box is your imagination. The gold is the infinite creative power of your own awareness. You have been sitting on the power to create millions while begging the world for a job, begging the economy for a break, begging people for help. Stand up, open the box, look inside. The wealth is not coming from the strangers walking by. It is coming from the foundation you are resting on. We are waking up from the illusion that effort is the cause of wealth. We have been indoctrinated into the cult of struggle. From the time you were a child, you were taught that you must trade your time, your sweat, your health, and your sanity for money. You were taught that money is hard to get and easy to lose. You were taught that there is a limited supply and you must fight others to get your share. This is the logic of the dream. In the dream of lack, everything is separate and everything is scarce. But in the reality of the spirit, everything is one and everything is infinite. You do not need to struggle to breathe. Air is abundant. You do not need to struggle to keep your heart beating. Life is abundant. Money is just as abundant as air if you stop pinching the hose of your own belief. When you struggle, you are telling the universe that you do not have. Struggle is the prayer of lack. Ease is the prayer of abundance. When you trust, you relax. When you know, you rest. The awakening we speak of today is the transition from the frantic energy of trying to get to the magnetic energy of receiving. You are not separate from the abundance you seek because you are not separate from God. And God is not poor. God is the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills. If the life of God flows through your veins, then the wealth of God flows through your affairs. The only thing blocking the flow is the sediment of your own unworthy thoughts. You have told yourself a story of unworthiness. You have looked at your past mistakes, your family background, your lack of education, or your past failures, and you have built a wall of shame between you and your good. But the awakening is the realization that your past is dead. It does not exist. The only thing that exists is your current concept of yourself. You can change that concept in the twinkling of an eye. You can forgive yourself. You can reinvent yourself. You can decide right now in this holy instant that you are worthy of millions, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are. Consider the nature of this dream of lack. In a dream at night, you might be chased by a monster. Your heart races, you sweat, you feel terror. But is the monster real? No. It is a creation of your mind. If you knew you were dreaming, you could turn around and command the monster to vanish or turn it into a butterfly. You are currently walking through a waking dream where the monster is called debt or poverty. It feels real. It has teeth. It bites. But it is still a creation of your mind. It is sustained by your belief in it. If you withdraw your belief, if you withdraw your attention, it must fade. The awakening is the moment you realize you are the dreamer. You are not the victim of the nightmare. You are the author of the story. You have the pen. You have always had the pen. But you have been writing a tragedy out of habit. Today we start writing a romance between you and the abundance of the universe. Why do we resist this truth? Why is it so hard to accept that we are already wealthy? Because we are addicted to the evidence of the senses. We are addicted to what we can see, touch, and count. We call this being realistic. But I tell you that being realistic is the fastest road to mediocrity. The great inventors, the billionaires, the visionaries, they were never realistic. They saw things that did not exist and they held on to that vision until the world caught up with them. You must be unrealistic. You must be unreasonable. You must dare to assume a reality that contradicts the facts. The facts are temporary. The truth is eternal. The fact may be that you are broke. The truth is that you are infinite supply. Which one will you serve? You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve the fact of lack and the truth of abundance. You must choose. The awakening is that choice. As you listen to my voice, I want you to feel the heavy coat of poverty falling off your shoulders. It is a heavy, dusty, moth-eaten coat that you have worn for years. It smells of worry. It weighs you down. It makes you walk with your head down. Take it off. Let it drop to the floor. Stand up straight. Feel the lightness of your true being. Underneath that coat, you are wearing the royal robes of the operant power. You are clothed in dignity. You are clothed in possibilities. This is not a metaphor. This is an energetic reality. When you shift your identity, you shift your vibration. And when you shift your vibration, the universe responds with a different set of circumstances. It has to. It is the law. You are not here to learn how to manipulate people to give you money. You are not here to learn how to cheat the system. You are here to learn how to operate the machinery of your own consciousness. The money you want is not in the bank vault. It is in your imagination. When you can possess it there, you will possess it here. But you must possess it there first. You must walk through the streets of your mind as a wealthy person. You must shop in the stores of your mind with unlimited credit. You must write checks in your mind that never bounce. You must drive cars in your mind that smell of new leather. You must sensitize your inner man to the feeling of opulence. The inner man is the one who manifests. If the inner man is poor, the outer man will starve. If the inner man is rich, the outer man will feast. The awakening is also a letting go of envy. When you are in the dream of lack, you look at others who have wealth, and you feel a pang of jealousy. You think they have taken your slice of the pie. You think there is not enough left for you. This is the logic of the sleeping mind. In the awakened mind, you realize that their wealth is a confirmation of the abundance of the universe. You bless them. You rejoice in their success because you know that the same law that worked for them is working for you. You realize that there is no competition in the realm of spirit. There is only creation. You do not need to take what is another's. You create what is yours. You draw it from the infinite substance. Envy is a declaration that you do not believe you can create. It is an insult to the God within you. Let it go. Replace it with admiration. Replace it with the knowing that if they can do it, so can I. This introduction is your invitation to a new life. But you must accept the invitation. You cannot stand in the doorway. You must step into the room. The room of abundance is filled with light. It is filled with laughter. It is filled with ease. Leave the hallway of struggle. Leave the dark corners of complaint. Stop telling your sad story to anyone who will listen. Stop repeating the narrative of how hard you have had it. Every time you tell that story, you are cementing yourself in the past. You are re-signing the contract of lack. Tear up the script. Start telling a new story, even if you have to whisper it to yourself in the dark. I am wealthy. I am free. I am blessed. Say it until you believe it. Say it until it becomes your natural response to life. We are about to embark on a journey through the mechanics of this transformation. We will explore the womb of creation, the bridge of feeling, the discipline of the mind, and the collapse of time. But none of these techniques will work if you do not first make the fundamental decision to wake up. You must decide that you are done with suffering. You must decide that you are done with just getting by. You must get angry at your mediocrity. Not a destructive anger, but a holy dissatisfaction. A fire in the belly that says, I was made for more than this. That fire is the fuel that will propel you out of the gravity of your old life. Imagine for a moment that you awaken tomorrow morning and the shift has fully taken place. The bank account is full. The debts are paid. The pressure is gone. Who are you now? How do you treat your family? How do you treat strangers? Do you walk with more patience? Do you smile more easily? Do you sleep deeper? That person is who you must become now. You do not wait for the money to become that person. You be that person to summon the money. This is the great secret. This is the mystery of the ages. You are the cause. The world is the effect. If you wait for the effect to change the cause, you will wait forever. You must be the proactive cause. You must strike the rock of your own consciousness and let the water flow. You are not alone in this. The entire universe is conspiring to help you awaken. Every problem you face is a wake-up call. Every bill you cannot pay is a teacher asking you, who do you think you are? Are you a victim of this bill, or are you the master of supply? Every rejection is a question asking you, do you know your own worth? Life is pushing you, prodding you, sometimes squeezing you, not to crush you, but to wake you up, to squeeze the divinity out of you, to force you to abandon your reliance on the outer world and fall back on the inner power. Say thank you to the struggle. It has brought you here. It has brought you to this video. It has brought you to the edge of your awakening. Now, take a deep breath. Inhale the possibility of a life without limits. Exhale the stale air of limitation. You are ready. You are capable. You are worthy. The dream of lack is fading. The morning of abundance is breaking. The sun is rising in your soul. Open your spiritual eyes. Look at the fields. They are white unto harvest. You do not need to wait 4 months for the harvest. The harvest is now. Reaping is a state of mind. Gather the good into your barn, the barn of your consciousness. As we move into the deeper teachings in the coming chapters, keep this feeling of awakening alive. Do not let yourself drift back to sleep. Stay alert. Stay watchful. Watch your thoughts like a hawk. Watch your feelings like a guardian. You are the gatekeeper of your reality, and today you are opening the gates to the overflow. You are commanding the floodgates of heaven to open, and they are opening not because you begged, but because you woke up and realized you had the key in your pocket the whole time. You are the operant power. You are the invisible currency. You are the wealth of the world. Welcome to your true life. Welcome to the abundance that has always been yours. Let us begin. We must begin by redefining the very ground you stand on, because until you alter your definition of what is real, you will forever be a slave to what is visible. Most men and women walk through this life under a collective hypnosis, believing that the physical world of hard objects and bank balances and employment statistics is the primary reality, and that their thoughts and feelings are merely wispy reactions to that reality. This is the great inversion. This is the root of all suffering and all lack. The world has taught you that the reflection in the mirror is the face, but I am here to tell you that the face is your imagination, and the world is merely the glass that has no choice but to reflect what you are doing internally. We call this chapter the womb of creation because that is exactly what your imagination is. It is not a playground for idle daydreams or a sanctuary for escaping the harshness of life. It is the dark, fertile, infinite void from which every single object, circumstance, and event in your life is born. Nothing appears in your world that was not first conceived, gestated, and birthed in the womb of your imagination. Look around the room you are sitting in right now. I want you to really look at the objects that surround you. The chair you are sitting on, the device you are holding, the clothes on your body, the building that shelters you. Do you see them as physical facts? If you do, you are seeing only the shell. Look deeper. Before that chair was wood and fabric, it was an invisible idea in the mind of a designer. Before that phone was glass and microchips, it was a spark in the imagination of an inventor. Before the city you live in was concrete and steel, it was a blueprint in the mind of an architect. There is not a single thing in your physical experience that did not start as an imaginal act. If this is true for the chair and the phone and the city, then it is true for the money in your pocket. It is true for the career you have. It is true for the debt you owe. All of it is solidified imagination. The physical world is nothing more than imagination pushed out and frozen into form. Therefore, if you wish to change the frozen form, you do not attack the ice with a hammer. You apply the heat of a new imagination. You do not fight the debt by worrying about the debt, because worry is simply an imaginal act that creates more debt. Worry is negative meditation. When you worry, you are using the womb of creation to birth monsters. You are taking the precious creative power of God, which is your own awareness, and you are shaping it into the very things you fear. You are imagining scenes of failure. You are imagining conversations of lack. You are imagining the feeling of embarrassment. And because the womb of creation is impartial and creates whatever seed is planted within it, it faithfully brings your fears to pass. Then you look at the disaster you created and say, look at how hard life is, never realizing that you are the author of the tragedy. We must distinguish between two types of imagination. There is the passive, chaotic imagination of the sleeping man, and there is the active, directed imagination of the awakened man. The sleeping man lets his imagination run wild based on the headlines of the news or the gossip of his neighbors. He reacts. He sees a bill and imagines poverty. He sees a frown and imagines rejection. He is a victim of his own unchecked mental activity. But you are here because you are ready to become the awakened man. The awakened man seizes control of the wheel. He understands that imagination is the cause and reality is the effect. He does not wait for the world to be good to imagine good. He imagines good in the face of evil and thereby transforms the evil. He imagines wealth in the face of an empty bank account and thereby fills the account. This is not madness. This is the highest form of sanity. Madness is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Sanity is changing the internal cause to produce a new external effect. You might ask, how can I believe in my imagination when my senses are screaming the opposite? This is the battleground. This is where the war for your wealth is won or lost. Your senses are biological instruments designed to navigate the physical world, but they are not designed to create it. Your eyes can only see what already exists. They cannot see what is coming. Your ears can only hear the sounds that are currently vibrating in the air. They cannot hear the new song of your future. To rely on your senses for the truth is like steering a ship by looking at the wake behind you. The wake tells you where you have been, not where you are going. Your bank statement is the wake. It tells you what you imagined last month or last year. It is a dead report. It is a fossil. If you react to the fossil with emotion, you are bringing the past into the future. You are recreating the dead thing. To break the cycle, you must learn to ignore the evidence of the senses. This is a radical act. It requires a brazen impudence. You must look at the zero in your account and say, I do not accept this as the final truth. This is a shadow. The truth is what I am seeing in my mind. In the womb of creation, there is no lack. In your imagination, you can be anything. You can possess anything. You can go anywhere. Many people use this freedom to escape. They daydream about being rich, and then they open their eyes and say, oh well, back to reality. They treat their imagination as a lie and the physical world as the truth. I am asking you to flip that equation. I want you to treat your imagination as the truth and the physical world as the temporary illusion. When you close your eyes and imagine the weight of money in your hand, that is a real event in the fourth dimension. It has substance. It has reality. The fact that your physical eyes cannot see it yet does not mean it is not real. It means it has not yet extruded into this slow, dense, three-dimensional plane. But if you persist in that imaginal act, if you return to it and live in it, it must extrude. It has no choice. The womb must deliver the child. Let us go deeper into the concept of the womb. A womb is a place of darkness, a place of silence, a place of mystery. When a seed is planted in the earth, it is hidden. You do not see the roots forming. You do not see the husk breaking. If you were to dig it up every day to check on it, you would kill it. You must have the discipline to let your creation germinate in the darkness of your own conviction. This means you do not talk about your manifestation to people who will doubt you. You do not expose your tender embryo to the harsh light of criticism. You keep it secret. You keep it sacred. You nurture it with your feeling. You feed it with your attention. The world may see nothing changing on the outside, but you know what is happening on the inside. You walk with the secret smile of a pregnant woman who knows a life is growing within her even if she does not yet show. You are pregnant with your overflow. Money is energy, and energy responds to the container you create for it. Your imagination is the container. If your imagination is small, cramped, and filled with fear, you can only hold a small amount of wealth. If money tries to come to you, it will spill over and be lost because your container is cracked. You must use your imagination to expand your capacity to receive. In your mind's eye, practice receiving large sums. Practice writing checks for massive amounts. Practice walking into high-end stores and feeling that you belong there. This is not just a mental exercise. You are stretching the elastic walls of your consciousness. You are conditioning your inner man to be comfortable with wealth. Most people push money away because they are secretly uncomfortable with it. They feel unworthy or they fear it will change them. In the safety of the womb of creation, you can work through these blocks. You can become familiar with luxury until it feels natural. And once it is natural in the imagination, it becomes natural in the checkbook. We often speak of facts, but what is a fact? A fact is simply a hardened assumption. It was once fluid. It was once an idea. Then it was repeated and believed until it hardened into a fact. Poverty is a fact for millions of people only because they have accepted the assumption of poverty. They have agreed to the story. They have imagined it for themselves and for their children. But facts can be melted. Heat turns ice back into water. The heat of your focused desire and your vivid imagination can melt the hard facts of your life. The debt that seems set in stone can dissolve. The illness that seems permanent can vanish. The loneliness that seems eternal can end. But you must bring the heat. You cannot be lukewarm. You cannot imagine wealth for 5 minutes and then spend the rest of the day complaining about prices. That is like turning on the heater and then opening all the windows in the middle of winter. You must maintain the temperature. You must live in the state of the wish fulfilled. Let us discuss the inner man versus the outer man. The outer man lives in the world of Caesar. He pays taxes, he goes to work, he feels the cold. The inner man lives in the world of God. He is limitless, he is powerful, he is the operant power. The problem is that you have allowed the outer man to bully the inner man. You have allowed the senses to dictate to the soul. You let the bank balance tell you how to feel. This is a master-slave relationship gone wrong. The inner man should be the master. The inner man should tell the outer man what is true. You must retrain yourself. When the outer man says, "We can't afford this," the inner man must rise up and say, "Silence. My Father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and I am one with the Father. In my reality, this is paid for." You must assert the supremacy of the invisible over the visible. This requires a type of mental violence. Not physical violence, but a violent refusal to accept the status quo. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. This means you must forcefully shut out the distractions of the world. You must forcefully turn your attention away from the lack. If you look at a bill and feel fear, you must forcefully pivot your mind to the feeling of the bill being paid. It takes effort at first. It is like training a wild horse. Your mind is used to running wild into pastures of fear. You must rein it in. You must guide it back to the stable of abundance. Every time you pull your mind back from lack to plenty, you are strengthening the muscle of creation. You are proving that you are the master. The womb of creation is also a place of fusion. It is where the idea and the feeling become one. You cannot just think I am rich in a cold, intellectual way. That is like putting a seed on a concrete table. It will not grow. You must plant the seed in the moist, warm earth of emotion. You must feel the reality of it. What does wealth feel like? It does not feel like excitement. Excitement is what you feel when you get something you don't have. True wealth feels like relief. It feels like security. It feels like having options. It feels like exhaling. In your imagination, conjure up this feeling. Let it wash over you. Let it saturate your cells. When the thought of money is fused with the feeling of having, conception occurs. The spiritual child is conceived. And once conceived, if you do not abort it with doubt, it must be born. Do not be deceived by the passage of time. In the womb of creation, time is different. A dream can span years in a matter of minutes. When you enter the state of the wish fulfilled, you have stepped out of linear time and into vertical time. You have touched the eternal now. The manifestation is already finished in the eternal now. The time it takes to appear in your world is simply the time it takes for your consciousness to return to the 3D world, carrying the new conviction. Do not watch the clock. Watching the clock implies anxiety. Anxiety implies lack. The pregnant mother waits with patience because she knows the baby is coming. She does not need to force it. She trusts the natural timing of life. Trust the natural timing of your seed. It has its own appointed hour. It will not be late. Consider the architect again. He does not start building until the blueprint is finished. He does not pour concrete while he is still erasing lines on the paper. You must finish your blueprint in the womb of creation before you expect the building to appear. This means you must reach a point of inner conviction where you know it is done. You must play the scene in your mind until it feels natural, until it has the tones of reality. When you can walk through the house in your mind and it feels familiar, then the blueprint is done. Then the universe, the master builder, goes to work. It moves people, it shifts circumstances, it creates coincidences to bring your blueprint to life. You do not need to lift a finger to force the construction. You only need to hold the blueprint steady. The world will tell you to be realistic. They will tell you to face the facts. They will tell you that you are dreaming. Forgive them, for they are asleep. They do not know that they are living in a dream of their own making. They are dreaming a nightmare of limitation and calling it reality. You are waking up to the dream of limitless possibility. Do not argue with them. Do not try to convince them. Silence is the vessel in which power is contained. If you spill your energy trying to prove your reality to others, you drain the womb. Keep your energy contained. Let the results be your argument. When the overflow comes, when the life you imagine becomes the life you live, that will be all the proof necessary. You are the operant power. This means the power is not in the technique, the power is not in the words, the power is in you. You animate the technique, you breathe life into the scene. Without you, the imagination is just a screen. With you, it is a portal. You must step through the portal. You must not just watch yourself being rich on a movie screen in your mind. You must step into the screen. You must put on the body of the wealthy you. Look through his eyes, feel with his hands, walk with his stride. When you occupy the state, you become the state. And what you become, you express. The distinction between thinking of and thinking from is crucial. When you think of $1 million, you are separating yourself from it. It is over there, and you are over here. You are creating distance. When you think from $1 million, you are looking out at the world as the person who has it. You are seeing your friends, your family, your home from the perspective of abundance. The distance is gone. You are one with the state. The womb of creation requires you to be inside. You cannot impregnate the womb from the outside. You must enter. You must merge. This is the mystical marriage. The marriage of your awareness with your desire. So, as we close this chapter on the womb of creation, I challenge you to take an inventory of your mental home. What have you been birthing lately? Have you been birthing complaints? Have you been birthing drama? Have you been birthing the same old story of just getting by? Stop the production line. Fire the old writers. Clear the studio. You are the director. You have a blank check and an unlimited budget in the currency of imagination. Start a new production. Imagine the best. Imagine the highest. Imagine the noblest. Do not compromise. Do not worry about if it is possible. All things are possible to him who believes. And belief is simply a thought kept warm in the womb of creation until it comes alive. Your imagination is the God force within you. It is the Savior. It saves you from your present circumstances by creating new ones. Do not despise your imagination. Do not neglect it. Exercise it daily. Strengthen it. Trust it. It is the only thing that has ever changed the world, and it is the only thing that will change your world. The money you seek is already there, shining in the darkness of your own mind, waiting for you to claim it. Claim it now. It is yours. We have established that the imagination is the womb of creation. where the seed of your desire is planted, but now we must address the vital force that causes that seed to break open and take root in the soil of your physical reality. You can have the most perfect seed in the world. You can have the most detailed blueprint of the life you want. You can visualize the house and the car and the bank balance with crystal clarity. But if that image remains cold and intellectual, it will remain a daydream forever. The missing link, the secret passageway that connects the invisible realm of thought to the visible realm of matter, is feeling. We call this the secret bridge because it is walked internally where no human eye can see. You are crossing this bridge every moment of every day, whether you are aware of it or not. You are always feeling something, and that feeling is always carrying you toward a destination. If you are feeling frustration, you are walking the bridge toward more frustration. If you are feeling lack, you are walking the bridge toward more poverty. But today we are going to learn how to deliberately walk the bridge toward the overflow that is your birthright. We must begin by purifying our definition of the word feeling. In the world of the sleeping man, feeling is synonymous with emotion. He thinks feeling means high energy excitement or hysteria, or the adrenaline rush of winning the lottery. He thinks he must jump up and down and scream to manifest. This is a misunderstanding that leads to exhaustion. When I speak of the secret bridge of feeling, I am not speaking of a temporary spike in dopamine. I am speaking of the deep, resonant, unshakable sensation of reality. It is the feeling of knowing. It is the feeling of naturalness. It is the feeling of it is done. Think about something you already possess. Think about the shoes on your feet. Do you feel ecstatic about them every moment? Do you scream with joy because you have shoes? No, you accept them. You feel a sense of natural ownership. If you were to look down and see you were barefoot, you would feel surprised. The feeling of the shoe is a feeling of reality. It is a feeling of course. This is the feeling you must cultivate for your millions. This is the feeling you must cultivate for your freedom. You must move from the state of I want, which is a state of agitation, to the state of I have, which is a state of peace. The universe does not speak English or French or Spanish. It speaks frequency. And your feeling is the frequency generator. When you say the words, I am wealthy, but your stomach is tied in knots of fear, the universe hears the knot. It hears the fear. It responds to the vibration you are emitting, not the words you are reciting. This is why affirmations fail for so many people. They are trying to paste a positive word over a negative feeling. It is like trying to paint over a cracked wall without fixing the foundation. The crack will always show through. You must fix the foundation. You must change the feeling. The bridge must be built on the bedrock of conviction. When your feeling matches your desire, the bridge is open, and the traffic of miracles can begin to flow across it into your life. Let us explore the concept of thinking from versus thinking of. This is the most critical distinction in the art of manifestation. When you think of your desire, you are looking at it from a distance. You are seeing the money as something outside of you, something to be chased, something separate. This creates a gap. This creates longing. Longing is a feeling of lack. As long as you long for it, you cannot have it because you are affirming that it is not here. To cross the secret bridge, you must learn to think from the desire. You must step into the picture. You must become the actor in the scene, not the audience watching it. To think from wealth means you look out at the world through the eyes of a wealthy person. How does a wealthy person see a bill? Not as a threat, but as a simple transaction. How does a wealthy person see a store window? Not as a museum of things they cannot touch, but as a catalog of things they can choose from. When you think from the state, you embody the feeling of that state. You wear the feeling like a suit of clothes. And when you wear the suit long enough, it becomes your skin. You might ask, how can I feel wealthy when the creditors are calling and the refrigerator is empty? This is the test. This is the fire that refines the gold. If you require external proof to feel internal peace, you are a slave to the world of Caesar. You are a puppet, and the world is pulling your strings. To be a master, you must sever the strings. You must decide to feel the feeling in spite of the evidence. This requires a withdrawal of the senses. You must shut out the noise of the 3D world. Close your eyes. Go within. In the sanctuary of your imagination, The bank account is full. In that place there are no creditors. In that place you are free. Drink from that feeling. Bathe in it. Let it soothe your nervous system. The more you visit that place, the more real it becomes. And here is the secret. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. If you can make the feeling real in the dark, the subconscious will work overtime to make it real in the light. It will compel you to take actions you didn't plan. It will compel others to help you. It will reorganize the universe to match the blueprint of your feeling. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is often described as relief. This is a very specific vibration. Imagine you have been carrying a heavy backpack for 10 miles uphill. Your shoulders ache, your back is sweating, your legs are trembling. Then you reach the top and you drop the pack. What is that sensation? It is a deep exhale. It is a release of tension. It is the feeling of, I made it. That is the feeling of manifestation. When you truly accept that your desire is done, you stop worrying about it. You stop chasing it. You stop checking for it. You drop the backpack of how and when. You enter the Sabbath of the soul. If you are still anxious, you have not yet accepted the feeling. You are still on the wrong side of the bridge. You must keep going back to the womb of creation until you reach the point of relief. Until you can say, it is finished, and actually mean it. Let us talk about the tone of reality. Every object and every state has a tone. A piece of wood feels different from a piece of steel. A state of poverty feels different from a state of opulence. You must learn to recognize the tone of wealth. It is not frantic. It is not desperate. It is solid. It is grounded. It has a weight to it. It is the weight of gold. When you are imagining your scene, do not just see visual images. Engage the sense of touch. In your mind, touch the leather of the steering wheel of your new car. Is it cold? Is it smooth? Feel the weight of the keys in your pocket. Feel the texture of the high thread count sheets on your bed. These sensory details trigger the feeling of reality. They convince the doubting mind that this is actually happening. The more sensory hooks you can put into the imagination, the stronger the bridge becomes. You are anchoring the invisible into the visible through the sensation of touch. There is a law called the law of reversibility. If a physical fact can produce a psychological state, then a psychological state can produce a physical fact. If having $1 million makes you feel secure, then feeling secure can produce $1 million. The cause and effect can be reversed. You have been taught that the event comes first and the feeling follows. I am teaching you that the feeling comes first and the event follows. You are the cause. The world is the effect. If you wait for the world to make you smile, you will frown forever. You must smile first. You must summon the feeling from the depths of your own being. This is what it means to be the operant power. You operate the feeling. You generate it. You sustain it. You do not wait for it to arrive. You are the generator. But what happens when you open your eyes and the feeling fades? What happens when the harsh reality of the 3D world comes rushing back? This is where persistence enters the equation. You must learn to carry the fragrance of the feeling with you into your day. Imagine you have just walked through a garden of jasmine. When you leave the garden, the scent clings to your clothes. It lingers in your hair. People passing, you can smell it. You must let the feeling of wealth cling to you like a perfume. Even when you are doing mundane tasks, even when you are washing dishes or driving to work, keep a subtle undertone of that feeling running in the background. It is a quiet confidence, a secret knowing. You look at the world and you smile because you know something the world doesn't know yet. You know what is coming. You know what you have done in the silence. This lingering feeling is the bridge being reinforced. Every second you stay in the state, you are adding another brick to the bridge. Do not underestimate the power of naturalness. Neville Goddard emphasized this above all else. If your desire feels like a miracle, it will remain a miracle, something rare and distant. You must make it natural. It must feel like, of course, this is mine. It must feel like you fit into it. Many people sabotage their wealth because deep down they feel like an imposter in their own dream. They imagine the mansion, but they feel like a guest. They imagine the car, but they feel like they stole it. You must overcome this imposter syndrome in your imagination. You must wear the state until it fits. until you feel like you belong in the mansion, until you feel that the millions are just as natural to you as the air you breathe. You do this by repetition, by entering the scene over and over again until the shock wears off, until the thrill turns into a comfortable satisfaction. When the desire feels natural, it is on the verge of hardening into fact. The bridge of feeling is also a bridge of indifference. This sounds contradictory, but it is the final key. When you truly have something, you are somewhat indifferent to it. You don't obsess over your nose because you know it is on your face. You don't obsess over your name because you know it is yours. When you reach the state of knowing your desire is yours, you lose the desperate obsession with it. You reach a state of divine indifference. You care enough to enjoy it, but you don't care enough to worry about it. You hold it lightly. This indifference is a signal to the universe that you are full. You are not empty. And because you are full, more must come. To him that has, more will be given. The feeling of having includes a touch of indifference. It is the cool confidence of the king who knows his decree is law. Let us address the time lag. The secret bridge spans a gap of time. We call this the interval. In this interval, your reason will try to talk you out of your feeling. Your logic will say, it's been 3 days and nothing has happened. You are a fool. You must be prepared for this attack. You must understand that the interval is not a denial, it is a gestation. The bridge is being built. The invisible construction crew is working. Just because you don't see the workers doesn't mean the work isn't happening. If you react to the time lag with disappointment, you tear down the bridge. You go back to square one. You must hold the feeling through the interval. You must be loyal to the unseen reality. Loyalty is love. Do you love your dream enough to be loyal to it when it is invisible? Do you love your future self enough to trust him when he whispers it is coming? The feeling is a magnet. It draws like unto like. If you walk around feeling like a victim, you will attract bullies. If you walk around feeling like a failure, you will attract mistakes. If you walk around feeling like a master of wealth, you will attract gold. It is not personal. It is mechanical. It is the law of attraction in its purest form. You are a broadcasting station. You are broadcasting a signal 24 hours a day. The world is just the radio that plays the song you are broadcasting. If you don't like the music, change the signal. Do not yell at the radio. Change the feeling. It takes practice. It takes discipline. But it is the only work worth doing. The time you spend mastering your feeling is the best investment you will ever make. It pays dividends in every area of life. We must also speak of gratitude. Gratitude is the shortcut across the bridge. Gratitude is the feeling of the wish fulfilled, expressed as thanks. When you thank God or the universe for something you haven't received physically yet, you are performing a master move. You are hacking the system. Gratitude implies I have received. It bypasses the doubting intellect and goes straight to the subconscious. Start your day with the feeling of gratitude for the wealth that is on its way. Thank you for the overflow. Thank you for the financial freedom. Thank you for the ease. Say it until you feel the warm glow of appreciation in your chest. That glow is the bridge lighting up. That glow is the beacon that guides the ships of abundance into your harbor. Do not let others dictate your feeling. This is a common trap. You talk to a pessimistic friend and they drag you down into their feeling of lack. You watch the news and they drag you down into their feeling of fear. You must become a guardian of your feeling state. You must protect your bridge. Do not let anyone walk on your bridge with muddy boots. If the conversation turns to poverty, leave the conversation. If the news speaks of recession, turn off the news. You are building a new reality, and you cannot afford to use the old rotten materials of the world. You must use the fresh, pure materials of your own high imagination. Guard your mood like a treasure. Your mood is your fortune. If you lose your mood, you lose your power. If you keep your mood, you keep the keys to the kingdom. Let us visualize the bridge together. Imagine a bridge made of light connecting where you are now to where you want to be. The bridge is suspended over a canyon of doubt and fear. To walk the bridge, you must keep your eyes focused on the destination. If you look down at the canyon of doubt, you might get dizzy and fall. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is your balance. It keeps your eyes up. It keeps your feet steady. Every step you take in the feeling brings you closer. And the beautiful thing is that the destination is also moving toward you. As you walk toward the wealth runs toward you. It wants to be found. It wants to be experienced. The money has no volition of its own. It obeys the master. Be the master. So how do we practically apply this today? When you finish this video, do not just go back to your old routine. Take 5 minutes. Sit in a comfortable chair. Close your eyes. Induce a state of relaxation. Then, bring up the scene you have constructed in chapter 1. The scene that implies you have the money. Maybe it is shaking the hand of a business partner. Maybe it is looking at a paid-in-full mortgage document. Whatever it is, step into it. Now, focus entirely on the feeling. Not the visual, but the feeling. How does the paper feel in your hand? How does the handshake feel? And most importantly, what is the emotion in your heart? Find that note of relief. Find that note of thank you. Strike that note on the piano of your soul. Hold it. Sustain it. Let it vibrate through you. Then open your eyes, and as you walk into your kitchen or your office, try to keep that note humming. Don't let it die out. If it fades, strike it again. Carry it with you. That is the work. That is the secret bridge. There is no toll on this bridge. The price has already been paid. The price was your willingness to give up your old identity. You cannot walk this bridge carrying the baggage of the victim. You must leave the poor me story at the entrance. You must leave the blame at the entrance. The bridge is narrow. It only fits the new you. The you who knows your worth. The you who understands the law. The you who is willing to feel good before the reason to feel good appears. This is the act of faith that pleases the infinite. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. Faith is simply the feeling of the unseen reality. Remember that feelings are contagious. When you truly inhabit the feeling of wealth, you become charismatic. You become magnetic. People will want to be around you. They will sense that you are on the way up. They will sense that you have access to something they want. You will attract partners, investors, customers, and friends who align with your new frequency. You don't have to manipulate them. Your feeling does the work. Your feeling introduces you before you speak a word. Your feeling closes the deal before you sign the paper. This is the effortless path. This is the path of the flow. Finally, understand that this bridge is solid. It is not a fantasy. It is more real than the concrete bridge you drive your car on. The concrete bridge will eventually crumble and rust. The secret bridge of feeling is eternal. It is made of the stuff of God. It cannot break. It cannot fail. It only works if you walk it. You cannot stand at the start and wish you were at the end. You must walk. You walk by feeling, step by step, feeling by feeling, mood by mood, until one day you look around and realize you are no longer imagining it. You are living it. The bridge has become the land. The dream has become the fact. And you will realize that the wealth was yours all along, waiting for you to build the bridge to fetch it. So today, make a covenant with yourself. Promise yourself that you will prioritize your feeling above all else. Promise yourself that you will not let the 3D world bully you into submission. Promise yourself that you will walk the bridge every single day until you arrive. You are the architect, you are the builder, and you are the traveler. The bridge is open, the toll is paid. The destination is guaranteed. Walk. Before we cross into the discipline of the mind, take a brief moment to anchor yourself in this energy. If you are feeling the truth of these words resonate within you, if you are ready to cross the bridge from lacking to having, simply like this video, it is a small signal to the universe that you agree with this message. And if you have not yet joined us, subscribe now. We are building a sanctuary of awakened minds here, and your presence makes the energy stronger. Let us continue. We arrive now at the great battlefield of the mind. This is the place where the war for your wealth is truly won or lost. We have spoken of the womb of creation and the secret bridge of feeling, but now we must confront the adversary that stands at the gate of your garden. That adversary is your own logical mind and its obsession with the question of how. From the moment you were born into this three-dimensional world, you were conditioned to be a creature of logic. You were taught that cause must always precede effect in a visible linear chain. You were taught that if you want to build a house, you must first buy the bricks, and if you want to be wealthy, you must first get the job. This is the logic of Caesar. This is the logic of the outer man. But you are no longer operating solely as the outer man. You are awakening the inner man, the operant power of imagination, and the inner man operates on a completely different set of laws. The inner man knows that the end determines the means. The inner man knows that if you possess the reality of the wish fulfilled in your consciousness, the means of its fulfillment will orchestrate themselves without your interference. This chapter is about the rigorous discipline required to silence the outer man's demand for a plan and to stand firm in the inner man's knowledge of the result. The question how is the voice of doubt. When you ask, how will this happen? You are confessing that you do not believe it has happened. You are confessing that you are still standing at the starting line, looking at the finish line across a vast distance. You are calculating the obstacles. You are measuring the gap. And as long as you are measuring the gap, you are sustaining the gap. The discipline of the inner man is the refusal to calculate. It is the refusal to measure. It is the brazen act of accepting the end result as a finished fact and letting the universe fill in the middle. You must understand that your finite conscious mind is not designed to figure out the how. Your conscious mind is a selector. It selects the destination. It is the captain of the ship who says, "We are going to New York." But the conscious mind is not the engineer down in the boiler room. It does not know how to run the engines. It does not know the currents of the ocean. It does not know the wind patterns. If the captain runs down to the engine room and tries to micromanage the mechanics, the ship will stall. Your job is to select the destination. The job of the infinite intelligence within you is to navigate the ship. When you try to figure out the how, you are the captain trying to do the engineer's job, and you will fail. The discipline we speak of is not a physical discipline. It is not about waking up at 4 a.m. or working 80 hours a week. It is a mental discipline. It is the ability to stand in the face of impossible odds and say, "I do not care what the facts say. I know what I have imagined." The world will present you with facts that contradict your desire. The bank will say insufficient funds. The boss will say you are fired. The economy will say recession. The outer man will panic. He will scream, "How can I be wealthy now? Look at this mess." This is the moment of testing. The disciplined inner man does not flinch. He looks at the facts and says, "These are shadows. These are echoes of my past thinking. They have no power over my future unless I give it to them." You must learn to look at a fact and deny its finality. A fact is only a fact as long as you sustain it with your belief. Withdraw your belief and the fact must crumble. But if you ask, how, you are giving the fact power. You are asking the obstacle to explain itself. Do not converse with the obstacle. Go over its head. Go straight to the end. Let us explore the concept of the bridge of incidents. Neville Goddard taught that between your assumption of the wish fulfilled and its visible manifestation, there is a series of events that will unfold naturally. This is the bridge. You do not build the bridge. You walk across it. The tiles of the bridge are laid down by the higher intelligence just as your foot is about to land. You cannot see the whole bridge from where you stand. You can only see the next step. And sometimes the next step looks like a disaster. This is where the discipline is most crucial. Sometimes to get to the new job, you must lose the old one. To the outer man, losing the job looks like a tragedy. He asks, "How is this helping me?" But the inner man knows that this is necessary. The old structure must be demolished before the new palace can be built. If you panic when the demolition starts, you stop the construction. You must trust the chaos. You must trust that the how often looks like a disruption before it looks like a blessing. The discipline lies in remaining calm when the bridge takes a sharp turn you didn't expect. The obsession with how is an addiction to control. The ego wants to feel safe, and it only feels safe when it thinks it controls the variables. It wants to know exactly where the money is coming from. Is it a lottery win? Is it a promotion? Is it an inheritance? The ego makes lists. It makes plans A, B, and C. But the ways of the infinite are higher than your ways. The universe has millions of delivery systems that your logical mind cannot conceive of. By insisting on knowing the how, you are actually limiting the universe. You are saying, you can only bless me through this one tiny channel that I can understand. You are closing 1,000 doors to keep one window open. The discipline of the inner man opens all the doors. It says, I do not care how it comes. I only care that it is done. This surrender of the how is not an act of weakness. It is the ultimate act of power. It is the confidence that your command is so powerful that the entire universe must reshuffle itself to obey you. Consider the GPS system in your car. When you type in a destination, you do not argue with the satellite. You do not ask, how does the satellite know where I am? You do not ask, how will the signal travel through the air? You trust the system. You simply drive. If you miss a turn, the GPS recalculates. It finds a new way. It never gives up. Your imagination is the GPS. Your desire is the destination. The how is the route. If you miss a turn, if you make a mistake, if you hit a roadblock, the infinite intelligence recalculates instantly. It finds a new route to your wealth. But if you stop the car and start screaming at the GPS asking, how will this work? You are going nowhere. The discipline is to keep driving. Keep moving in the state of the wish fulfilled. Trust that the recalculation is happening. Trust that the arrival is inevitable. The how belongs to the department of the unseen. You have a partnership with the Creator. It is a division of labor. Your labor is the psychological acceptance of the desire. The Creator's labor is the mechanical orchestration of events. Do not do the Creator's job. You are not qualified. You do not have the perspective of the infinite. You cannot see the hidden connections between people and events. You do not know that a stranger in another city is making a decision right now that will affect your wealth tomorrow. You do not know that a delay you are cursing is actually preventing you from a mistake. You cannot see the full picture, so why try to control it? Your attempt to control the how is like a child trying to fly a jumbo jet. Sit back in your seat. Enjoy the flight. Trust the pilot. The inner man is the passenger who rests. The outer man is the passenger who paces the aisle in anxiety. Be the inner man. The discipline of ignoring the how brings a profound peace. Think of the energy you waste trying to figure it out. The sleepless nights, the scenarios you play out in your head. If I do this, then maybe that will happen, but what if he says no? This is mental torture. It is a misuse of the creative power. When you stop caring about the how, you reclaim that energy. You can use that energy to feel the joy of the end. You can use it to live your life. This is the paradox. The less you care about how it happens, the faster it happens. Resistance is created by the friction of your worry. When you remove the worry about the how, you remove the friction, you become a superconductor for miracles. The current flows without impedance. Let us speak of the ways and means. The scripture says, my ways are not your ways. The human mind loves linear progression. Step 1, step 2, step 3. But the spirit operates in quantum leaps. It can jump from step 1 to step 10 without touching the steps in between. You might be broke today and wealthy tomorrow. Logic says that is impossible. Logic says you need time to build wealth. Logic says you need to save and invest for 40 years. That is the way of the world. But there are other ways. There are windfalls. There are ideas that turn into empires overnight. There are connections that change everything in a handshake. When you ignore the how, you make room for the quantum leap. You make room for the non-linear miracle. You are telling the universe, I am open to the fastest, easiest, most harmonious way. You are taking the limits off. This discipline requires you to be a guardian of your own thoughts. When the thought comes, but I don't see a way, you must arrest that thought. You must say, it is not my job to see the way. It is my job to see the end. This is a mental diet. You must starve the how and feed the end. It is uncomfortable at first. The logical mind will throw a tantrum. It will tell you that you are being irresponsible. It will tell you that you are delusional. Let it scream. The logical mind is a wonderful servant but a terrible master. Do not let it master you. You are the master. You are the operant power. Treat the logical mind like a frightened child. Comfort it, but do not let it drive the car. Say to your logic, I understand you are scared because you can't see the path, but I have a vision that sees around corners. Trust me, there is a freedom in not knowing. We are taught that ignorance is bad, but in the realm of manifestation, holy ignorance is a virtue. To be ignorant of the means, but certain of the end, is the state of the master. When you know how it's going to happen, you are limited to that one path. If that path gets blocked, you are crushed. But when you don't know how, and you don't care how, you are invincible. If one path blocks, another opens, you become like water. Water does not argue with the rock, it flows around it. It finds the crack. It eventually wears the rock down. Be like water. Let your desire flow toward its fulfillment, without rigid insistence on the form it takes. The form is the how. The essence is the what. Stick to the essence. We must also address the concept of inspired action versus forced action. Ignoring the how does not mean you sit on the couch and rot. It means you do not act out of fear. You do not act to make it happen. You act because you are moved to act. When you live in the end, you will find yourself doing things. You might call a friend. You might buy a book. You might go to a specific place. It will feel natural. It will feel joyful. This is the bridge of incidents moving you. This is inspired action. It is part of the unfolding how. But notice the difference. Forced action feels heavy. It feels like you are pushing a boulder uphill. It comes from the thought, if I don't do this, I won't get the money. Inspired action feels light. It feels like you are chasing a butterfly downhill. It comes from the thought, this feels like the right thing to do. Follow the light feeling. Ignore the heavy feeling. The how unfolds through your joy, not your struggle. The discipline of the inner man is a daily practice of surrender. Every morning you must surrender the need to control the day. You must declare, I know my destination is wealth. I leave the navigation to the greater self. And every night you must review your day and see where you fell into the trap of the how. Did you worry about a bill? Did you stress about a deadline? Forgive yourself, revise it. Replay the scene as if you had remained calm. Replay it as if you had trusted. This revision repairs the bridge. It strengthens your discipline for tomorrow. You are building a mental muscle. At first it is weak. The how will bully you. But day by day, as you exercise the discipline of ignoring the how, the muscle grows. You become unshakable. You become a person who can walk through a storm and sleep like a baby because you know the storm is just rearranging the furniture for your benefit. There is a story of a man who was lost in a labyrinth. He ran around frantically trying to figure out the map, trying to memorize the turns, trying to calculate the exit. He was exhausted and terrified. Then he realized he had a jetpack. He simply turned it on and flew over the walls. The how is the labyrinth. The end is the flight. You have a spiritual jetpack called imagination. Why are you running through the maze? Why are you hitting dead ends? Fly over it. Go to the end. See yourself already outside the maze. The moment you do that, the maze dissolves. The maze only exists for the one who is trying to solve it. For the one who has transcended it, there is no maze. There is only the destination. The world will call you a dreamer. They will say, you need to be practical. You need a plan. You need a strategy. Smile at them. They are operating from the limited perspective of the outer man. They believe the only way to move a mountain is with a shovel. You know you can move the mountain with a word. Do not argue with the shovel holders. Let them dig. You are operating the heavy machinery of the universe. You are operating the lever of assumption. When you pull that lever, the gears of the cosmos grind into motion. You don't need to know how the gears work. You don't need to know how to fix the engine. You just need to know how to pull the lever. Pull it with conviction. Pull it with feeling, and stand back. This discipline requires a certain level of spiritual aloofness. You must be somewhat detached from the immediate appearances. If the bank calls, answer the phone, but do not accept their energy. Do not accept their reality as final. Deal with the facts of Caesar. Pay the bill if you can. Make the arrangement if you must. But internally, keep your distance. Say to yourself, this is a temporary inconvenience. It is not my truth. My truth is overflow. This double consciousness is the mark of the adept. You live in the world, but you are not of it. You render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but you render unto God, your imagination, what is God's. And what belongs to God is the absolute trust in the outcome. The how is often a disguise for unworthiness. We ask how because we don't believe we deserve it just for being us. We think we have to earn it through a complex process. We think we have to prove ourselves through the difficulty of the how. If it came too easily, we would feel guilty. We would think I didn't work for this. You must dismantle this belief. You deserve wealth because you exist. You deserve overflow because you are an expression of the divine. The divine does not work hard. The divine speaks, and it is done. Let there be light, and there was light. God didn't ask, how will I make light? Where will I get the photons? He just decreed it. You are made in that image. Your decree is enough. The difficulty of the how is a punishment you inflict on yourself to feel worthy of the reward. Stop punishing yourself. Accept the easy way. Accept the miracle. Finally, remember that the how is infinite. There are as many ways to become wealthy as there are stars in the sky. When you fixate on one way, you block the billions of other ways. Maybe you think the money must come from your job, but the universe might want to bring it through an investment, or an idea, or a gift. When you ignore the how, you take the limits off the infinite. You say, universe, surprise me. I am open to everything. This is a state of high expectancy. It is a state of excitement. Instead of worrying about how it will happen, you start wondering with delight how it will happen. I wonder what amazing way the universe will deliver this. That is a shift from anxiety to curiosity. Curiosity is a magnetic state. Anxiety is a repellent state. Be curious. Watch for the signs. Enjoy the unfolding mystery. You are the disciplined inner man. You stand on the bridge of your own making. You see the fog in front of you. You don't know what is in the fog, but you know what is on the other side, and you keep walking. You do not stop to ask the fog for directions. You walk through it. And as you walk, the fog clears. The path appears stone by stone. The bridges form. The doors open. And one day, you arrive at the destination, and you look back at the path, and you realize it was a path you could never have planned. It was a path of twists and turns and perfect coincidences that only a supercomputer could have calculated. You will be glad you didn't try to figure it out. You will be glad you ignored the how. You will realize that ignoring the how was the smartest thing you ever did. It was the key that unlocked the door to the impossible. So stand firm. Zip your lip, silence your mind, eyes on the prize. The how is done. The end is yours. We have now arrived at the engine room of your reality. We have spoken of the womb of creation, where the idea is born, and the bridge of feeling that connects the invisible to the visible, and the discipline required to ignore the how. But there is a mechanism that keeps this entire system running, or shuts it down completely, and that mechanism is your inner speech. You may believe that your life is determined by the conversations you have with your boss or your spouse or your banker or the world at large. But I tell you that those external dialogues are merely echoes. They are the secondary sound effects of the primary drama that is taking place within you. 24 hours a day, you are talking to yourself every moment of your waking life and even into your sleep. This inner speech is not merely a commentary on life. It is the cause of life. The world you see around you is nothing more than your inner conversations crystallized into form. You are the writer and the director and the actor of a play that is being written in real time by the words you whisper in the secret chamber of your soul. If you want to know why your life looks the way it does, you simply need to listen to what you have been saying to yourself when no one else is around. The ancient scriptures tell us that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This is not just a historical statement about the creation of the universe. It is a psychological fact about the creation of your life. You are the operative God of your own world, and your inner speech is the Word. Every time you speak internally, you are issuing a decree. The universe is not judging your words as good or bad. It is not filtering them through a moral compass. It is simply accepting them as instructions. If you walk around saying, "I am so tired," you are instructing your body to produce fatigue. If you say, "I can never get ahead," you are instructing your bank account to block abundance. You are the commander of an infinite army of energy. But if the commander is drunk and shouting contradictory orders, the army will fall into chaos. Your life is in chaos because your inner speech is a riot of conflicting commands. One moment you affirm wealth, and the next moment you complain about the price of gas. You build the castle in the morning and tear it down in the afternoon with your words. To command the infinite, you must discipline the word. Let us analyze the nature of these conversations. Observe yourself for 1 hour. Be an anthropologist of your own mind. What are you saying? Are you rehashing the past? Are you arguing with people who are not there? This is the most insidious form of inner speech, the mental argument. We have all done it. Someone slights you, or you fear a confrontation, and you spend hours having a heated debate with them in your imagination. You tell them off. You prove your point. You feel a surge of self-righteous anger. You think you are winning the argument, but in reality you are losing your life. You are impregnating your subconscious mind with the vibration of conflict. And because the world is a mirror, that person must show up and treat you exactly as you imagined they would. They have no choice. They are only playing the part you wrote for them in your inner argument. You transmitted the script to them telepathically through your feeling, and they will act it out perfectly. If you want peace in your relationships, you must declare a ceasefire in your mind. You must stop the mental arguments. You must replace the argument with a conversation of harmony. This is not about being nice. It is about being smart. It is about understanding that you cannot plant cactus seeds and expect to harvest roses. The art of inner speech is the art of premising. You must premise your inner conversations on the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. How does a wealthy man talk to himself? Does he worry about the rent? No. He talks about investment. He talks about expansion. He talks about gratitude. His inner tone is one of ease. You must adopt this tone before the money appears. You must change the record that is playing in your head. Most people are playing a record of victimhood on a loop. Why does this always happen to me? What is wrong with me? They always ignore me. This record is scratching a groove into the substance of your mind. You must lift the needle. You must smash that record. You must put on a new recording, a recording that says, "I am always supported. Things always work out for me. I am a magnet for miracles." At first, it will feel artificial. Your ego will call you a liar. But you must persist. You must play the new record until the groove is deep enough that the needle stays in it automatically. We must speak of the grammar of manifestation. The tense you use matters. The universe is a literalist. If you say, "I will be wealthy," the universe puts your wealth in the future. And since the future never arrives, you remain in a state of will be. You are like a donkey chasing a carrot on a stick. You must switch your grammar to the present tense. I am, I have, it is. Even if you are looking at an empty hand, you must say, "I have received." This is the command that collapses time. The subconscious mind only operates in the now. It does not understand tomorrow. If you tell it, "I am wealthy now," it goes to work now to verify that statement. It will rearrange your life with breathtaking speed to make the outer world match the inner declaration. But if you keep pushing it to tomorrow, you are telling the subconscious to rest. You are giving it permission to delay. Stop delaying your own good with your grammar. Speak in the now. This brings us to the technique of the congratulatory conversation. This is the most powerful tool in the arsenal of the law of assumption. Neville Goddard taught this as the master key. Instead of asking for what you want or trying to visualize complex scenes, simply construct a conversation in your mind that implies you already have it. If you want a promotion, do not beg for it. Hear your partner or your friend congratulating you on the new position. Hear the specific words. I am so proud of you. I knew you could do it. Let's go out to celebrate. Hear the tone of their voice. Feel the reality of their handshake or their hug. When you do this, you are eavesdropping on the future. You are pulling the future into the present. The subconscious mind hears this congratulation and accepts it as a fact. It assumes that if you are being congratulated, the event must have happened. It then goes to work to bring about the bridge of incidents that leads to that celebration. You do not need to know how it will happen. You only need to hear the confirmation that it has happened. You must become a strict gatekeeper of your mind. We call this a mental diet. Just as you would not eat poison if you wanted to be healthy, you must not indulge in poisonous inner thoughts if you want to be successful. A mental diet is harder than a physical diet. In a physical diet, you can cheat once a week and be fine. In a mental diet, there are no cheat days. Every negative thought that is accepted and felt is a seed planted. You cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. This does not mean you suppress them or fight them with tension. What you resist persists. Instead, when a negative thought arises, you rewrite it on the spot. If the thought comes, I am going to run out of money, you immediately arrest it. You say, no, that is the old story. The new story is that I am divinely provided for. My cup runneth over. You rewrite the line of dialogue before it sinks into the subconscious. You must be vigilant. You must be relentless. You are the editor of your own life story. Do not let a typo become a tragedy. Fix the script in real time. The inner conversation is also the source of your self-image. You are constantly telling yourself who you are. I am clumsy. I am getting old. I am not good with technology. I am invisible to women. These are mantras. You are chanting yourself into a prison of your own making. The walls of your prison are made of words, but the key is also made of words. You must change the mantra. You must start telling yourself a new truth even before the evidence appears. I am graceful. I am vital. I am brilliant. I am magnetic. When you change the inner speech, you change your vibration. People will begin to react to you differently. They will not know why. They will simply sense a new authority in you. They are responding to your new inner chant. You are broadcasting a new signal, and the world is tuning in. There is a profound connection between your inner speech and your health. Your body is eavesdropping on your mind. Every cell in your body is listening to what you are saying. If you are constantly talking about disease, pain, and aging, your body will obediently manifest those conditions. My back always hurts. I catch every flu. I am falling apart. You are cursing your own temple. Stop it. Start speaking life into your cells. My body is intelligent. My body is healing. I am full of energy. Even if you are in pain, thank your body for its strength. Speak to your organs with love. Speak to your blood with gratitude. The placebo effect is simply the power of inner speech. When a patient believes a sugar pill is medicine, they tell themselves, I am getting better, and they get better. You do not need the sugar pill. You just need the speech. Be your own healer. Command the vitality to return. Let us speak of the inner listening. It is not just about what you speak, but about what you hear. We are always hearing voices in our minds. The voice of the critic, the voice of the doubter, the voice of the parent. You must learn to tune out the voices of the past and tune in the voice of the future. The voice of the future is the voice of your higher self. It speaks in possibilities. It speaks in solutions. It is the voice that says, there is a way. You are capable. It is done. You must amplify this voice. You must give it the microphone. When the critic speaks, simply acknowledge it and turn the volume down. Say thank you for your opinion, but we are not going in that direction. Do not fight the critic. Just ignore him. Attention is the currency of the mind. Whithersoever you send your attention, there you send your life. Withhold your attention from the negative inner voice, and it will starve and die. You can use the inner conversation to heal relationships that seem broken beyond repair. If there is someone you are estranged from, stop replaying the fight. Stop rehearsing your grievances. Go into the silence of your imagination and hold a conversation with them as if the breach were healed. Hear them say, "I am sorry." Hear yourself say, "I forgive you." Hear the laughter returning. Do this with intensity and feeling. Do it until the anger in your heart dissolves. You will be amazed at what happens. They will call you, or you will run into them and the tension will be gone. Or if it is best for both of you, they will drift away peacefully without the bitterness. You are untying the knots of karma with your mind. You are the healer of your own timeline. This practice requires solitude. You cannot master the inner conversation while you are constantly distracted by the noise of the world. You must carve out moments of silence. Turn off the phone. Turn off the television. Sit in the quiet and listen. What is the ambient noise of your soul? Is it a noise of anxiety or a noise of peace? If it is anxiety, intervene. Start a new conversation. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a beloved child. Comfort yourself. Reassure yourself, it is okay. We are safe. Everything is working out. Be your own best friend. Most people are their own worst abusers. They say things to themselves they would never say to an enemy. Stop the abuse. Start the love affair with your own soul. The most important relationship you will ever have is the relationship between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your inner speech is the dialogue between these two lovers. Make it a dialogue of love. The inner conversation is the bridge between the potential and the actual. Every invention, every building, every empire started as a conversation in someone's mind. They talked about it to themselves before they talked about it to the world. You are building the empire of your life. What are the blueprints you are discussing? If you want to know what your future holds, look at what your mind is holding right now. The future is not a mystery. It is a predictable result of your current inner speech. If you are saying, "I hope this works," you are creating a future of doubt. If you are saying, "I know this is working," you are creating a future of certainty. The universe listens to your certainty. It ignores your wavering. Be certain. There is a magical quality to inner speech when it is coupled with the state of sleep. Neville taught that the last thought you have before you drift off to sleep determines the trajectory of your next day. If you fall asleep arguing with yourself or worrying about tomorrow, you are marinating your subconscious in poison for 8 hours. You will wake up tired, anxious, and behind the 8 ball. But if you control the inner conversation as you drift off, if you say to yourself, "Thank you for this perfect day," even if it wasn't perfect to the eyes, you rewrite the day. You revise it, and you set the stage for a glorious tomorrow. Fall asleep whispering the success of your wish fulfilled. Let the last words on your mental lips be words of victory. It is finished. I am blessed. Thank you. This is how you command the night to serve the day. The skeptics will say that this is delusion. They will say you are talking to yourself like a crazy person. But let them sleep. You are waking up. You know that the only reality is consciousness. You know that the world is an echo. If you yell, "I am a failure," into a canyon, the canyon yells back, "I am a failure." Is the canyon cruel? No. It is just faithful. The world is your canyon. Stop yelling failure. Start yelling success. Start whispering love, and soon the echo will change. The echo must change. It is a law. It is not a maybe. It is a certainty. Your outer world is the delayed echo of your inner speech. If you do not like the echo, change the voice. As you practice this, you will find that your outer speech changes too. You will become less interested in gossip. You will be less interested in complaining. You will find that you have nothing to say about the bad news of the world because you are not inhabiting that world in your mind. You become a person of few words, but the words you speak carry power. When you speak, people listen because your words are backed by the authority of your inner alignment. You are no longer scattering your energy, you are focusing it like a laser. A laser can cut through steel. A scattered light can hardly illuminate a room. Be a laser. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Let your inner word match your outer word. This integration is the definition of integrity, and integrity is power. Do not share your inner conversations with others. This is a secret work. The Bible says, "Go and tell no man." When you talk about your desires to others who are not on this path, they will doubt you. They will ridicule you, and their doubt will trigger your own doubt. Keep your dreams in the womb of your mind until they are born. Do not expose the developing film to the light of public opinion. Protect your inner conversation. It is sacred ground. It is the Holy of Holies where you meet God. And God meets you in the cool of the day in the garden of your mind, ready to converse. What will you say to him? Will you complain about the garden? Or will you praise the harvest? The mastery of the inner conversation is the mastery of life. There is no other way. You cannot fix the outside from the outside. You must go in. You must retire to the studio of the mind and re-record the track. If you don't like the song of your life, stop singing it. Sing a new song. Sing it silently. Sing it persistently. Sing it until you believe it. And when you believe it, the whole world will sing it with you. The chorus of humanity will join in your song because everyone is you pushed out. They are only echoing your melody. Make the melody beautiful. Make the lyrics empowering. Make the rhythm of joy. This is the art. It is not a science that is cold and distant. It is an art form. You are the artist. Your mind is the canvas. Your words are the brushstrokes. Paint a masterpiece. Do not paint a tragedy. Paint a triumph. Paint a love story. Paint a life of abundance. Use the bold colors of confidence. Use the soft hues of gratitude. You have the brush in your hand every second. Do not let the hand tremble. Steady it with purpose. Command the infinite canvas to reveal the picture you hold in your heart. So your assignment is clear. From this moment forward, you are the guardian of the threshold. You stand at the door of your mind with a flaming sword. You allow no thought to enter that does not serve your highest good. You allow no conversation to endure that does not imply the wish fulfilled. It requires discipline. It requires vigilance. But the reward is a life of limitlessness. The reward is the overflow. The overflow begins in the mind. It spills over from the cup of your inner speech into the saucer of your world. Fill the cup with the wine of success. Fill it with the wine of love. Let it run over. You are the commander. Give the order and watch the universe obey. We arrive now at the final frontier of your awakening. We have traveled through the womb of creation and crossed the bridge of feeling and disciplined the inner man and mastered the art of inner speech. But there remains one great illusion that stands between you and your overflow. It is the illusion of time. The human mind is addicted to the clock. It is addicted to the calendar. It is obsessed with the question of when. You have done the work and you have planted the seed, but now you stand tapping your foot asking, when will it appear? How long must I wait? I am here to tell you that the moment you ask how long you have re-entered the state of lack, you have stepped out of the state of it, is done, and back into the state of it is coming. And as long as it is coming, it can never be here. This chapter is about the collapse of that distance. It is about destroying the timeline of delay. It is about understanding that in the realm of the spirit, there is no tomorrow and there is no yesterday. There is only the eternal now. If you can stand in the now with the conviction of the wish fulfilled, you collapse time. You warp the fabric of reality. You bring the future into the present and you make the invisible visible. You must understand that time is a flexible construct. It is not a rigid line. In the physical world, we agree on seconds and minutes for the sake of commerce and travel. But in the world of consciousness, time is relative to intensity. Have you not noticed that when you are in pain, a minute feels like an hour? And when you are in joy, an hour feels like a minute? This proves that time is a function of your state of being. When you are in the state of waiting, time expands. It stretches out into an agonizing infinity. Waiting is a state of separation. You are here and your desire is there, and time is the distance between you. But when you are in the state of having, time collapses to zero. You cannot wait for what you already have. If you hold a cup of water in your hand, you do not ask, when will I get this water? You simply drink. The collapse of time occurs when you reach the spiritual point where you are metaphorically holding the water. You are holding the money. You are holding the freedom. You have moved from the energy of seeking to the energy of possession. The phrase "it is done" is not just a poetic statement. It is a scientific formula for manifestation. When the architect finishes the blueprint, he rolls it up and says, "It is done." The building may not yet stand on the corner. The ground may not even be broken. But to the architect, the house is finished because the image is complete. There are no more lines to draw. There are no more decisions to make. The manifestation is now just a matter of the density of the world catching up to the speed of the idea. You must become the architect of your wealth. You must reach the point in your imagination where the blueprint is so clear and the feeling is so real that you can roll up the plans and say, "It is done." This signals the subconscious mind to stop searching and start building. As long as you are tweaking the plans and worrying about the design, you are preventing the construction. You must reach a point of finality, a point of inner conviction where you are no longer trying to make it happen because you know it has happened. Let us speak of the interval of silence. There is always an interval between the imaginal act and the physical fact. This is the nature of the three-dimensional world. It has density, it has lag. Just as there is a lag between the lightning and the thunder, there is a lag between your assumption and its appearance. The problem is not the lag. The problem is your reaction to the lag. Most people see the lightning, their flash of inspiration and desire, but when the thunder doesn't boom immediately, they doubt the lightning ever happened. They say, "I imagined it, but it didn't work." They abort the pregnancy. You must learn to wait with the patience of a mother. A mother does not doubt her pregnancy just because she cannot see the baby's face yet. She knows the interval is necessary for the perfection of the child. Your interval is necessary for the orchestration of the events that will bring your wealth. Do not curse the delay. The delay is preparation. If you receive the millions today, you might destroy yourself. The interval is preparing your character to hold the weight of your glory. The collapse of time happens when you withdraw your attention from the passage of time. If you watch a pot of water, it will never boil. Why? Because your anxiety cools the water. Your anxiety is a vibration of not boiling. You are observing the lack of boiling. But if you turn the heat on and walk away and engage yourself in something else, the pot boils in minutes. You must turn the heat of your assumption on and then walk away from the obsession with time. Live your life. Enjoy your day. Do the work that is in front of you. Trust that the heat is doing its work. The universe is cooking your meal. You do not need to stand over the stove screaming, "Cook faster." That implies you are starving. The starving man pushes food away. The satisfied man attracts the feast. Be the satisfied man. There is a concept called the Sabbath. In the mystical tradition, the Sabbath is not a day of the week. It is a state of consciousness. It is the seventh stage of creation where God rested. God rested not because he was tired, but because the work was finished. You enter the Sabbath when you stop striving mentally, when you stop worrying how and when. When you attain the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you naturally enter a state of rest. You feel a deep inner peace. You are no longer fighting the world, you are flowing with it. This mental rest is the catalyst for the collapse of time. When you rest, you get out of the way. You remove the resistance. Resistance is the only thing that creates time. If there was zero resistance in a wire, the electricity would travel instantly without heat loss. If there is zero resistance in your mind, the manifestation travels instantly. Your doubts and fears are the resistance. Enter the Sabbath, rest in the knowing, and watch how fast the current flows. You might ask, "But I have bills to pay on Friday. How can I ignore time?" This is the challenge of living in two worlds. You are a citizen of the world of Caesar and a citizen of the world of God. You must render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Pay the bill with what you have. Make the arrangement. Do the practical thing, but do not give Caesar your soul. Do not give the deadline your fear. Inside, you remain standing in the abundance. You say, "This deadline is a fact of the shadow world, but my truth is the overflow." By refusing to let the deadline create internal panic, you are collapsing the timeline of the next manifestation. You are breaking the cycle of debt. If you react with panic, you are planting the seed for the next deadline to be even worse. You must break the chain of time by inserting a moment of timeless peace right in the middle of the crisis. This act of faith shifts the timeline. It opens a wormhole into a new reality. The now is the only place where power exists. You cannot manifest in the future. The future is a projection. You cannot manifest in the past. The past is a memory. You can only manifest here and now. When you say, I will be wealthy, you are projecting your good into a time that does not exist. You are keeping it always one day away. You must say, I am wealthy. You must feel it now. Even if the senses deny it, especially when the senses deny it, you act as if, you feel as if, you speak as if. By anchoring the feeling of wealth in the present moment, you trick the universe. The universe responds to the now. It feels your vibration of having, and it rushes to match it. It fills the vacuum. It brings the future you imagined into the present you are living. Let us explore the quantum leap. We are taught that success is a linear staircase. You must go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. You must get the degree, then the entry-level job, then the promotion, then the savings, then the wealth. This is the slow way. This is the way of the world. But the spirit moves in quantum leaps. An electron can jump from one orbit to another without traveling the space in between. It simply disappears from here and appears there. You can do the same. You can jump from lack to overflow without the middle steps. You can win a lottery. You can have an idea that goes viral. You can meet a person who changes your destiny in a handshake. When you collapse time, you are open to the quantum leap. You are telling the universe, I do not need to take the stairs. I am taking the elevator. The elevator is your assumption. The stairs are your logic. Get off the stairs. Step into the elevator of, it is done. To facilitate this collapse, you must stop rehearsing the past. Every time you tell the story of how long you have been broke, you are recreating the time. You are adding bricks to the wall of time. You are saying, look how real my struggle is. Stop it. Let the dead bury the dead. Do not count the years you have suffered. They are gone. They are smoke. If you count them, you keep them alive. Start counting the blessings of the now. Start telling the story of the future as if it were a memory. Neville called this remembering the future. You can stand in your imagination 10 years from now and look back at today and say, I remember when I used to worry about money. That was so long ago. I am so glad I trusted. By placing your struggle in the past tense, you free your present from its grip. You collapse the time between the struggle and the victory. The feeling of it is done is a specific sensation. It is not excitement. Excitement implies you are getting something new. It is done implies you are accustomed to it. It is a feeling of normalcy. When you get a new car, you are excited for a week. Then it becomes your car. You just drive it. The manifestation comes when you reach the stage of just driving it in your mind. When wealth feels normal, when abundance feels like your natural habitat, this normalcy collapses time because it removes the pedestal. We put our desires on a pedestal and worship them. Oh, it would be so amazing to be rich. This worship creates distance. Take the desire off the pedestal. Put it in your pocket. Make it ordinary. Make it yours. The universe delivers what is ordinary to you much faster than what is extraordinary. Make wealth your ordinary. There is a paradox in collapsing time. To speed things up, you must slow down. When you are rushing, you are in a state of lack. You are chasing time. You are afraid of running out of time. This vibration repels abundance. Abundance is leisurely. Abundance takes its time because it owns all the time. Observe the wealthy. They do not rush. They walk with a measured pace. They speak with pauses. They know the world waits for them. You must adopt this rhythm. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your walking. Slow down your speech. By slowing down, you are signaling to your subconscious, I have arrived. I am in control. This signal collapses the frantic energy of waiting and replaces it with the magnetic energy of arrival. We often use the phrase divine timing to comfort ourselves when things don't happen, and there is truth to it. But do not use divine timing as an excuse for your own doubt. Often the delay is not on God's end. It is on your end. God is ready. The overflow is ready. But you are still blocking the door with your question of when. You are holding the door shut while asking why no one is entering. Step aside. Drop the question. The moment you truly stop caring about when it will happen is usually the moment it happens. Why? Because you have released the resistance. You have demonstrated that you are whole without it. And to him that has wholeness, more shall be given. You are the timekeeper of your life. You hold the stopwatch. You have been pressing pause with your doubts. Today, press play. Press play by accepting that the desire is a finished reality in the fourth dimension. In the world of imagination, it is already solid. It has weight, it has form. You are not trying to create it. You are trying to tune into it. It is like a radio station. The music of wealth is playing right now on frequency 101.5. If you are tuned to 98.5, you hear static. You don't say, the music doesn't exist. You say, I am on the wrong frequency. Tune your dial. The dial is your feeling. Tune into the feeling of relief. Tune into the feeling of gratitude. Suddenly, the music of overflow fills your room. It was there all along. You just bridge the gap. You collapse the time between the station and the receiver. The it is done state requires a death. You must die to the old man. The old man is the one who waits. The old man is the one who checks the mail with anxiety. You must bury him. You must be born again as the new man who knows. This rebirth is painful to the ego because the ego loves its drama. The ego loves the story of I am trying so hard. Give up the drama. Give up the story of the struggle. Be the person who has it easy. Be the person for whom things just work out. This identity shift is the ultimate time machine. You jump timelines from the struggler to the victor. And the victor does not wait. The victor receives. Imagine you have placed an order at a restaurant. You hand the menu to the waiter, he walks away. Do you sit there and worry, will the chef cook it? Do they have food? Will they forget me? No. You talk to your friends. You drink your water. You enjoy the atmosphere. You know the food is coming. You have collapsed the time between the order and the meal by trusting the system. The universe is a kitchen. You have placed your order with your imagination. Now sit back, drink your water, enjoy your life. Don't storm the kitchen. Don't doubt the chef. The meal is being prepared with ingredients you cannot see. It will be served hot and perfect. But you must stay at the table. If you leave the table in frustration because it took 5 minutes too long, you miss the feast. Stay at the table of certainty. The world is full of people waiting for their ship to come in. They are standing on the shore, scanning the horizon with binoculars. They will wait forever, because the ship is not coming from the outside. The ship is coming from the inside. You are the ship. You are the cargo. You are the captain. You must sail the ship out of the harbor of your mind into the ocean of reality. You do this by assuming you have already docked. Feel the ropes tying the ship to the dock. Smell the land. It is done. The voyage is over. The treasure is here. When you walk through your house today, look at your furniture and say, it is done. Look at your bills and say, it is done. Look at your mirror and say, it is done. Saturate your environment with this finality. Command the atoms of your world to freeze into the formation of your desire. You are the operant power. You are the king. A king does not ask, when will my decree be obeyed? He assumes it is done the moment he speaks. Speak your word, seal it with your faith, and let the time collapse. As we conclude this chapter, remember that the only thing separating you from your millions is a thought of time, a thought of distance, a thought of not yet. Change that thought. Replace not yet with right now. Replace someday with today. Replace hope with fact. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is not far away. It is at your fingertips. Reach out with your mind and touch it. Hold it. Keep it. It is yours. It is done. We come now to the final moment of our communion together. The moment that separates the hearers of the word from the doers of the work. You have traveled a great distance in consciousness over the course of this message. You have awakened from the dream of lack and entered the womb of creation. You have crossed the secret bridge of feeling and disciplined the inner man to ignore the how. You have mastered the art of inner speech and collapsed the illusion of time. Now you stand at the threshold of your own door. You are about to turn off this recording and step back into the three-dimensional world of Caesar. This is the most dangerous moment and the most glorious moment. It is dangerous because the senses will immediately assault you with the evidence of your old life. The bills will still be on the table. The bank account will still show the old number. The world will look exactly as you left it an hour ago. But it is glorious because you are not the same person who sat down to listen to this. You have changed. And because you have changed, the world must change, but it waits for one final command. That command is your walk. You must now walk as the person you have imagined yourself to be. This outro is not a goodbye. It is a commissioning. It is a coronation. We are placing the crown of the operant power upon your head and handing you the scepter of dominion. Do not take them off when you walk out the door. To walk as the person means to carry the energy of your wish fulfilled into the mundane activities of your day. It is easy to feel wealthy when you are sitting in meditation with your eyes closed. It is easy to feel powerful when you are listening to my voice. The test comes when you are standing in line at the grocery store. The test comes when you are stuck in traffic. The test comes when you look at the price of gas. Who are you in those moments? Are you the beggar worrying about pennies? Or are you the king who knows his treasury is infinite? You must carry the state like a fragrance. Imagine that you have just been anointed with a rare and expensive perfume. You cannot see the perfume, but you know it is there. It surrounds you. It influences everyone you meet. The feeling of wealth is that perfume. You must wear it. When you walk, walk with the posture of someone who has arrived. Do not rush. Do not hunch your shoulders in apology for your existence. Expand your chest. Lift your chin. Look the world in the eye. You are the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills. Act like it. This walking is a physical act of faith. Your body is the instrument of your soul. If your soul is wealthy, your body will move with ease. Observe the wealthy. They do not move with the frantic energy of survival. They move with a leisurely rhythm. They know there is enough time. They know there is enough money. Adopt this rhythm. Slow down. When you pick up a cup of coffee, pick it up with the grace of royalty. When you open a door, open it with the authority of the master of the house. These small physical adjustments send powerful signals back to your subconscious mind. They tell the inner man we are safe, we are provided for, we are living in the end. If you rush, if you panic, if you scramble, you are telling the inner man we are in danger, we are lacking. The body does not lie. Align your body with your decree. The concept of the final decree is based on the ancient law that a king's word is irrevocable. In the ancient world, when a king issued a decree, he would seal it with his signet ring. Once sealed, even the king himself could not reverse it. It was law. You are the king of your reality. Your imagination is the decree. Your feeling is the ring. You have issued the decree of wealth. Now you must seal it. To seal it means you do not question it again. You do not dig it up to see if it is growing. You do not ask, did I do it right? You assume it is done. If you question it, you break the seal. If you doubt it, you tear the parchment. You must have the strength of character to let the decree stand. Even if the heavens fall, you let the decree stand. I am wealthy. That is the final word. There is no debate. The court is adjourned. As you walk as this new person, you will encounter the old man. The old man is your former self. The self that struggled, the self that complained, the self that identified with poverty. He is not dead yet. He is a ghost that haunts the hallways of your mind. He will try to whisper to you. He will say, who do you think you are? You are fooling yourself. Look at the facts. You must treat the old man with indifference. Do not fight him. Do not argue with him. Fighting him gives him life. Simply ignore him. Walk through him as if he was smoke. Say to him, I remember you. You used to live here, but you have been evicted. I am under new management now. The more you ignore the old self, the faster he fades. He survives on your attention. Starve him. Feed the new man with your attention. Feed the new man with your feeling. You are entering a period we call the double consciousness. You will be living in the physical world of limitation while simultaneously living in the spiritual world of expansion. You will pay the bill with your physical hand while knowing in your spiritual heart that you have millions. You will drive the old car with your physical body while driving the new car in your imagination. This is not insanity. This is mastery. This is how the bridge is crossed. You do not wait for the physical to change the mental. You hold the mental constant until the physical is forced to conform. You are a dimensional traveler. You are bridging two worlds. Do not let the physical world drag you down. Pull the physical world up. Elevate it with your vision. When you look at your old car, do not see it with contempt. Bless it, thank it for its service, and see it evolving into the new car. See the potential in everything. The final decree is a decree of no compromise. In the past you have compromised. You have settled for less. You have said, I will be happy with just a little bit more. Today you stop settling. You decree the fullness of your desire. You decree overflow. Why should you settle? You are the offspring of the infinite. Does the ocean settle for being a pond? Does the sun settle for being a candle? It is your nature to shine. It is your nature to expand. Do not apologize for your desire. Your desire is the voice of God knocking at your door, telling you that there is more for you. Open the door. Let the more in. Do not limit the Holy One of Israel by your small thinking. Think big. Feel big. Live big. Let us speak of the silence that must follow the decree. After you turn off this video, do not immediately run to tell your friends I am going to be rich. Do not post it on social media. Do not seek validation from others. The seed grows in the dark. If you expose your seed to the light of other people's opinions, they will scorch it with their doubt. They will laugh at you, and their laughter will plant weeds in your garden. Keep your decree secret. It is a holy pact between you and your imagination. Let the results be your announcement. When you drive up in the new car, that is your announcement. When you pay off the debt, that is your announcement. Until then, silence, go and tell no man. This command was given for a reason. Silence builds pressure. Silence builds power. Keep the energy contained within the vessel of your consciousness until it explodes into form. You are now a walking state of consciousness. Everywhere you go, you carry an atmosphere with you. People will sense it. They will not know what it is, but they will feel different around you. They will feel a sense of stability, a sense of peace, a sense of abundance. You will become a magnet. Opportunities will find you. You won't have to chase them. You will walk down the street and someone will stop you with an idea. You will go to a party and meet the exact person you need. This is not luck. This is the radiation of your decree. You are broadcasting a signal of wealth, and the universe is responding. Trust the signal. Do not tamper with it by worrying. Just keep walking. There will be days when you stumble. There will be days when the 3D world punches you in the face. This is inevitable. When this happens, do not spiral into despair. Do not say, it isn't working. Say, this is part of the bridge. Pick yourself up. Dust yourself off. Reissue the decree. I am still wealthy. This circumstance does not define me. I define it. The righteous man falls 7 times and gets up 8. Persistence is the key. The universe rewards the stubborn. Be stubborn in your faith. Be obstinate in your assumption. Refuse to take no for an answer. If the door slams in your face, assume there is a better door opening. Assume the slam was a protection. Never accept defeat. Defeat is only a state of mind. If you do not accept it, it cannot touch you. The final decree is also a decree of forgiveness. You must forgive yourself for the years you spent in lack. You must forgive yourself for the mistakes you made with money. You must forgive those who you think held you back. Unforgiveness is a heavy bag of rocks. You cannot climb the mountain of overflow carrying a bag of rocks. Drop it. Let it go. It is the past. It is dead. You are a new creation. The slate is clean. The debt is cancelled. You are free. Walk with the lightness of a forgiven soul. Walk with the joy of a liberated spirit. Wealth cannot flow into a heart clogged with resentment. Clear the arteries of your soul. Let the love flow. Let the money flow. Imagine you are an actor who has been playing the role of a beggar for 20 years. You have played it so well you forgot you were an actor. You thought you were the beggar. Today the director, your higher self, has walked onto the stage and handed you a new script. The script is titled The Billionaire, The Philanthropist, The Master. You read the script and you realize it is your role. You take off the rags. You put on the suit. You walk out onto the stage of life. Do you continue to beg? No, you play the role. You speak the lines. You command the stage. The audience, the world will adjust. They will stop treating you like a beggar and start treating you like a king. But you must stay in character. Do not break character when the scene gets tough. Stay in the role until the curtain falls, and you will find that the role becomes your reality. The final element of the decree is gratitude, but not the gratitude of the beggar who receives a crumb. The gratitude of the master who knows the supply is endless. Walk with a constant. Thank you in your heart. Thank you for the air. Thank you for the life. Thank you for the wealth that is here. Gratitude is the open hand. Ingratitude is the clenched fist. You cannot receive with a clenched fist. Open your hands. Open your heart. Be a vessel of thanks. The universe loves a grateful receiver. It delights in pouring more into a cup that overflows with praise. Make your life a song of thanksgiving. As you step out now, visualize a seal of gold light surrounding you. This is the seal of your faith. It protects you from the negativity of the world. It keeps your energy pure. Nothing can penetrate this seal unless you let it. You are safe, you are guided, you are guarded. The angels of your imagination are going before you to make the crooked places straight. You are not walking alone. You are walking with the entire power of the universe backing you up. If God is for you, who can be against you? If your imagination is for you, what fact can stand against you? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So go now. Go with the wind at your back. Go with the sun on your face. Go with the gold in your veins. You are the invisible currency. You are the awakened wealth. Do not look back at the burning city of your past. Look forward to the mountain of your future. Climb it, own it, enjoy it. The world is waiting for you to take your place. The feast is prepared. The guests are seated. The music is playing, and the seat of honor is yours. Take your seat. I leave you with this final thought. You are the operant power. You do not need me. You do not need this video. You only need your own wonderful human imagination. Trust it, test it, use it. It will never fail you. It is the rock of ages. It is the savior of the world. And it is you. The decree is spoken. The seal is set. The walk begins. It is done, and so it is. If this message has served you, do not let the energy dissipate. Share this video with someone who needs to remember their power. Leave a comment below declaring it is done, to stamp your seal upon this day. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell, so you do not miss the next appointment with your higher self. You are the operant power. Go in peace.